We want to understand a very significant factor over here, which is lack of awareness. We are talking about investors. We are talking about people who don't know that their family members have put some money in certain investment instrument. Here we are talking about the wrong kind of financial practices, or the way one really decides to opt their financial journey. Are we just talking about lack of awareness, or there's more to it?
So, I got into will writing in my 30s only because I lost my uncle without a will. And that is when I really went through this pain point in person. Until then, like everybody else, I was super busy with my BITS Pilani education and joining companies and working super hard. And it's only once you go through this pain, you truly understand how complex this whole matter can get. And without a simple document like a will, you're truly leaving your loved ones a mess, for the lack of any other word, because there is no one single body in the country where you can just press a button and automatically all your loved ones' estate will get settled and everybody's shares will be distributed. Because we have multiple asset classes. It is real estate, it is gold, it is bank accounts, fixed deposits. One trend that I've noticed in the last 10 years in India is the growing fintech, which is wonderful. However, with any new technology, there is also a side effect, and the side effect of extreme fintech focus on wealth creation and wealth management is wealth transfer gets completely neglected, because we are still in the world of 18th century when it comes to asset distribution and wealth transfer. And I agree with all the speakers here. The Indian economy is booming. Everybody is insanely busy working super hard for their loved ones to create wealth, to manage it with all the mutual funds, LIC, crypto, you name it, right? Like there's a million asset classes out there. But the problem is we have to recognize our mortality. We will all leave the planet Earth. It's a guaranteed factor. It will happen. It's only a matter of time. And and it's one of those philosophical things. So to answer your question, it's lack of awareness, but it's also, as human beings, our reluctance to admit our own mortality. It's a very discomforting thought. Because I'm in this business, for me, it's a lot more natural, but I can understand a lot of people don't want to think about their own death, even though that it is the only guaranteed thing in the earth. There are jurisdictions where you can escape taxes. There are no jurisdictions where you can escape death. So with that point, writing a will is super important. And the other thing is, Indian women are at a significant disadvantage. Again, nobody talks about this. Most of my ex-colleagues from some of the best consulting firms in the world, from London Business School, women colleagues, they don't know that once they get married, their parents do not become their legal heirs. All of their self-acquired wealth goes to the husband and the children equally in the absence of a will. They have no clue. And why would you, right? Like inheritance laws are the most boring, old school, archaic laws, and nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about financial literacy, where to invest, which gives you the highest return on your time, your money. But nobody talks about what happens if something happens to you. And we are also not talking about our true loved ones, minor children. How many of your viewers actually have minor children? Do they have legal guardians formally appointed? I would say 95% of them would not have appointed legal guardians. And guess what happens if who's going to take care of the child, their education, their college, and everything else? It's just not enough as parents. If you're giving your children assets, you have to ensure that there are systems in place in case something happens to you. So all of this is, as I said, I wouldn't have gotten into it without a personal family issue. But now that I've ventured into it, it just looks incredibly complex. And I don't want anybody to go through this pain point. This will take a lot of time, wasted energy, cost. And guess what? If there are stocks stuck, somebody has to manage the stock. These are highly volatile asset classes. Imagine not touching them for 6 months. The value could be decimated over that period of time. Similarly, for real estate, there's a lot of macroeconomic factors that affect the value of these assets. These are not static and they don't always go up and to the right, like, how we all want to believe.